What is up, fellow Yu-Gi-Oh fans? I am the one and only Glenguin. Welcome to the channel. Boys and girls, today I am showcasing you my August 2019 deck profile post Rising Rampage for Simorghs. Now, if you do enjoy decks like Dragoonities and Monarchs that rely heavily on doing the extra normal summon, in particular Eidos for example, allowing you the extra tribute summon, or with Dragoonities with spells and traps that allows you to do an extra normal summon for your turn, this is the deck for you, boys and girls. So sit back, relax while I showcase the deck profile. Hopefully you enjoy my ratios and find it somewhat informative, and let's get straight into it. This is not a budget deck profile, this is quite expensive, and I'll show you the cards and the reasons why I am running them. So we're going to start with the main card himself. Well, he's one of the main cards, but we're going to zoom in just a little bit. Just give me 1 second. We're going to zoom in, and we are going to start with Simorgh, Lord of the Storm. I see a lot of ratios at 3. I heavily brick with this card. It always depends on your shuffle, and it depends on the person in question who's playing the deck. In my personal opinion, this card is fantastic, but its downfall is bricking. But we do play cards like Trade In to unbrick from the deck, and we can bring this card out whenever we want, really. Your opponent cannot target this card when it is tribute summon with spells or traps or card effects. It's absolutely fantastic. When a spell, trap or effect is activated, quick effect, you contribute one winged beast monster, then target one card your opponent controls and shuffle it back into the deck. This card would be even more broken if it didn't target, but I think it's fantastic at 2 anyway, because we are playing different kinds of cards in the deck that you wouldn't normally see in this kind of deck. Now we are playing triple Simorgh of Darkness. This card is absolutely broken. I love this card so much. While face up on the field, this card is also wind attribute. You can only use this following effects of this card once per turn. If you tribute summon a dark or wind monster, you can special summon this card from the graveyard or hand, even if not. So basically, it's kind of like Darkest Diablos, Lord of the Lair. It's a 2900 beat stick. When the spell, field spell is on the field, you also gain 300 attack for each of your Simorgh monsters also. So they do gain that attack, and you do become 3200. When a spell, trap or effect is activated, the quick effect, you contribute a winged beast monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy the card. This card is absolutely broken. Really good level 8 monster, fantastic in the deck. This is quite an old school card. I wasn't really playing Yu-Gi-Oh at the time that this card was released, but this is Dark Simorgh, and I just thought it was a really cool monster to put into the deck just to showcase. It's limited edition, it's an old school card. While face up on the field, this card is also wind attribute. Also, you can banish one dark monster and one wind monster from your graveyard to special summon this card from your hand for free. You can banish one dark monster and one monster from your graveyard also, but your opponent cannot set any cards on the field. So it's fantastic. It does stop and interrupt your opponent on their plays. And then we're going to play one Razor the Mega Monarch. I know I was talking about Monarchs a moment ago, but this is a wind attribute monster. You contribute to summon this card by tributing one tribute summon monster, which most of the case and time you will have because it is a tribute deck, and it is all to do with gaining an extra normal summon in your deck. You also get to target one card on the field and one other card in your either player's graveyard. If this was tributed using a wind monster, which most of the time it will be, you can target an additional card on the field, place that first target on top of the deck in any order, and again return the additional target, if any, to the hand. So you're bouncing your opponent's cards to their hand. Anything that's problematic on the field, it doesn't target, and well, the first effect does target, but the second one doesn't, because it says return, but the first one will target and it will place the card on top of the deck. Then we're going into basically the main card of the deck. Basically, you want to see this card as quickly as possible. This allows for the extra summon in the turn. When this card is normal summon, this is Simorgh, Bird of Beginning. During your main phase this turn, you can normal summon one Simorgh monster in addition to your normal summoner set. Fantastic card, and you get to special this card in defense position if they control no cards in their spell trap zone. Fantastic card, really good extender for the deck. This is basically a fantastic card to also play Simorgh, Bird of Calamity. When this card is normal summoned, it's basically like the Foolish Burial for your deck, where you can send one Simorgh card from your deck to the graveyard. Fantastic card, must have in the deck. I know a lot of people are playing this at 3, but again, I have to play ratios differently considering the cards that I am playing in the deck. This is basically your reinforcement of the army of the deck, and it will add one Simorgh card from your deck to your hand. And then the reason why we're playing it at 2 is because I really wanted to try Danger Thunderbird in this deck. It doesn't really matter so much purely if we are discarding certain cards into our graveyard. So it's really nice to have Danger Thunderbird. We are playing blind going second in this deck anyway. You can have a free special summon and draw one, or you can actually use it going second to pop a set spell and trap card that your opponent controls. It's also level 8, it's also a trade-in target for the deck. So that is my normal lineup of monsters there. Hand traps, we are playing Double Ash Blossom. This is just because purely I am playing at my locals, and this is the cards that I would like to play at my locals, and it depends what we are facing. But again, a lot of Pendulum Magicians lately. We want to stop cards like Electromite. You have Ghost Ogre, which is back at full force, so it's nice to play that, and I'll put the Ash Blossoms there to stop the adding or sending from deck to grave. Really helpful cards. So that is my monsters. Quite a few monsters in the deck. Then we're going to go on to our spell cards. So we're going to have Triple Elbows, the Sacred Land of Simorgh. This one really helps with boosting your attack and defense of all your winged beast monsters. And you can reveal one level 5 or higher winged beast monster. It's really hard to say that for some reason. And then you can normal summon one winged beast wind monster for one less tribute. So you can basically tribute normal summon up to 3 times in the turn if you really wanted to. Obviously, to complement that, we are playing a 1 terraforming. It is limited, unfortunately, but we have to make do with what we have. We are playing a triple Simorgh Onslaught. Really good card in the deck. You get to discard and then add 2 Simorgh monsters with different attributes from your deck to your hand. Fantastic card. So you can bring a wind monster and you can bring a dark monster. Fantastic card. I love this card so much. So that's why I'm playing 3. Must have in the deck. So ratios on draw power, we're not really running my extra deck. The extra deck is there if you really need it, but I am only playing 2 Pot of Extravagance. I know if you own a third one, please play 3, but for all the budget players we're also playing double trading. Like I said, it doesn't matter too much. You're discarding level 8 monsters. We're running a lot of level 8 monsters in the deck, as you can tell. You get your draw power. You can always bait your opponent out with Extravagance, considering we're not really running the extra deck like I said, and you get the draw power regardless, so that's my reasons for playing them. We are playing only double Call by the Grave at the moment. The deck is very tight. We are running a 43 card deck. I really love the ratio of 43 cards. I don't know why, it just seems to work really consistently. Call by the Grave, obviously, good extender for the deck. Stops your opponent's hand traps in their way. Then we are stopping Back Row Hate for double Twin Twisters. And then we're going to go onto our trap cards. So there's a few spells there. So there we go, Anti-Spell Fragrance, fantastic in the deck. I've seen a lot of people use this card. Fantastic synergy with the deck. Don't really heavily rely on our spell cards anyway. It's okay that we're setting the spells anyway, especially off our Simorgh monsters. Doesn't really matter. Then we're running one of the most broken cards in the game from the Dauntless Saga set, Harpy's Featherstorm. Basically, the good thing about this card is if you control a winged beast monster, until the end of this turn negate any monster effects your opponent activates. That's number 1. It kind of blankets the board. It's like a skill drain. It's like a Monarch's Erupt. Fantastic card. And it doesn't really matter about the Harpy condition because we're not playing it for that reason. But I just think it's a fantastic card. Just to control a winged beast monster, which we have anyway. We just get to stop all our opponent's monsters in their tracks. And then last but not least, to round off the main deck, we are playing double Gozen Match. Doesn't matter. Most of our cards are wind anyway, so that is why we're playing that. Shuts your opponent down. Then we're going to go into our main deck, our extra deck, and it's basically a free-for-all. So we're playing the one Wind Charmer, fantastic new card from Rising Rampage, one Linkuriboh. I mean, you can go into any of these cards if you really need to. One Salomon Grey Almirage. We're playing a double High Speed Void Rubber Band. I really think this is a cool card. If you really need to go into this card, it does stop a lot of your opponent's cards in their tracks. One Desperate Doom Eagle, most of them are wind. Then you got Security Dragon, one Nightmare Phoenix, one Cerberus, Triple Burst Dragon. Like, all these cards are really helpful in case you really need them to stop any problematic boards that you may come across. One Topologic Bomber Dragon, one Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. I mean, I really want to bring this card out just to watch my opponent just scoop, basically. Just scoop. If you're facing cards like Pendulum Magician decks, just scoop if you're playing this card. Fantastic, it's amazing, I love Appaloosa. One Borlow Dragon, and then if you really need to OTK, then go for the Boral Sword also. Especially if they haven't been hit off of part of Extravagance on the main phase, then you can go into anything you really need to. So boys and girls, I hope you found that deck profile somewhat informative. Thank you very much for watching and continuing to support the channel. We're almost at 1,400 subscribers, still going strong, Glen Pals. Please leave a like, smash that subscribe button for more epic Yu-Gi-Oh content, and I'll see you boys and girls in the next deck profile very, very soon. Have a good day everyone. Peace.